knee that was. And the kick right to the throat. Big shoulder comes in from Dragunov.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Turnbuckle King. We are here at the Red Carpet Ring. We're talking about WWE Raw. Drew McIntyre gets revenge after loss to CM Punk. And we are here, of course, got the bonus round of how would you book the Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at Bad Blood. We'll get into that. We're here also on X and Facebook. You guys get the likes up. Double tap the screen as you come into the ring. Let's do that. But definitely we're going to talk about the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw. And this is the first Monday Night Raw after Bash at Berlin. We are going to set up and talk about this Raw and how we are prepared to go for Bad Blood. Let's see who came into the ring before we begin. Tyler Helter, salute to you. Thanks for coming out. Figure 4 TV, salute to you. Thanks for coming out. So, yes, guys, we are here. We're going to talk about it. And, of course, we're going to go what went wrong with Raw, everything. And I'll go my review of Monday Night Raw. Before we do begin, however, let's go over and let's look over the match card for this recent episode of Monday Night Raw. Let's look that over real quick. And then we'll pull it up right now. Let's look at that real quick of the most recent card for the shows. Look over that. And this match card here, we know is all the stuff that was advertised. You guys know that sometimes things are subject due to change. We know that's normally how it goes with Raw. So before we do begin, let's look over that real quick and let's see. Let's get in more into it and let's see what was advertised and what was set to go. Let's look over that real quick, shall we? Now, as you see, we got a triple threat match for the number one, for a contender to go on to the next week's four-way match. And we know that Bronson Reed was originally advertised, but since he came down with COVID, he was out of it, and he was replaced later on by Braun Strowman. And we have another triple threat match for the four-way match next week. Dom versus Ilya Dragunov versus Dragon Lee. We have a six-person tag, Alpha Academy versus American Made. Then we have the newly won Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, making an appearance as to see who will qualify to face these two later on between the team of Damage Control versus the Unholy Union in the tag team match. Whoever won get the right to face those two. Well, with that being said, let's get into that. Let's get to the show here. And we got Rhea Ripley. She kicked off Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley, she came out. She talked about the win. She came on everything. She says she felt better than she has in weeks after the Terror Twins have defeated Dominic and Liv Bash at Berlin. Then she says she felt good and got that win under her belt. Another belt she is looking at is the belt she never lost, the WWE Women's World Championship. She wants to challenge Liv Morgan. And then we had Dom Mysterio interrupt her. He showed off his eye. He had a black, nasty eye since the Bash at Berlin. And that is because of Rhea Ripley that gave him that black eye. Ouch, right? But anyway, they had a good mic. They good back and forth between them. Dom Mysterio was saying, he was talking about Liv, and everything. But then Liv Morgan came out from behind. She tried to come from behind on Rhea. Rhea hit her with her elbow. And then next thing you know, she focused on Dom. Then Liv came behind her, got her foot caught the rope. Next thing you know, we had Damian Priest come out for the save. Then later on, Rhea had to be held backstage by medical officials. And later on, we would set up a matchup. Need a tag team partner. It was supposed to be, Rhea tag with Damian once again. But since Rhea's out, it will be Damian getting a tag team with Mr. Yeet. And that is Jey Uso. And that will be a tag team match set up for later that night. And that match will be in the main event scheduled for Jey Uso and Damian Priest, first time ever teaming up, versus Finn Balor and Jay McDonough of the Judgment Day. So that was very solid. Very solid way to kick off Monday Night Raw. Very first segment, Rhea, the whole Judgment Day thing. That story still continuing on. Gerard, salute to you. Just got home. Salute to you. Yeah, RP said justice. Yes, great legendary man. But let's go off. Let's talk about the first official match that did happen on Monday Night Raw, and that was Alpha Academy versus American Made. Now, this match here was a very fast paced match, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. Maxine Priest, I know I gave him some slack on here, but she's getting better in the ring. She did a fisherman suplex on Ivy Nile. She did a good jump off the top of the rope. She's getting better. I'm not saying she's the best women's wrestler on the whole entire WWE or Raw for that matter. I'm not saying that. I'm saying she got better for what she was. So I give her an A for effort and I give her a yeet for that.
Yeet.
So this match here, another part that was good. Of course, we had those two going at it, Ivy and of course Maxine Dupree. Then later on we had Cesaro and everything. It was mostly focusing on Ivy and Maxine at one point, and of course Otis and his antics. But this match was really set up to kick off the whole Wire Six as they came out afterwards, because American Made did get the pinfall. They won the match, but it's later set up this rivalry that's been continuing on, which is the Wire Six versus American Made. So it's not really so much about Alpha Academy. They just took the L. So this is what is going on. But it was okay match. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a starter match, so not too bad. Nothing crazy. Nothing shabby, pretty much. Then later on we had Selena Vega. She went on one-on-one against Shayna Baszler, and that did not end too well for Mrs. Selena Vega. Now she lost to Shayna Baszler, and afterwards, she lost with a pinfall with that knee strike she did to her. And next thing you know, Pure Fusion Collective. I'm actually remembering that name. I guess it's catching on to me. They attacked Selena Vega. Then Lyra Valkyria came out for the save. I wonder where Candy Carter, Katana Chance was at, because they normally align with her too. And then later on, Lyra and Selena was talking backstage saying, we need to do something about this. We're being outnumbered. And Lyra said she's coming up with an idea that she talked to Selena Vega about. Then it switched the screen. So only time will tell what's going to be next within those two. I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to set up a match next week or whatever. But this match, again, nothing too crazy, nothing to talk about. Let's move on the card. Then later on, we have more stuff going on Raw as well. But this here, like I said, I'm going to highlight this here. Pure Future Collective, they're really trying to push these girls here. They're really trying to make them the top ones on here. But that's the goal for them, and that's the whole angle and agenda. So I just wanted to notate that real quick before we move on to the next segment or match of Raw. That's what they're doing with it. That's where it's headed to. So let's get on. We're gonna move on to that in a second. Let's get on with that, shall we? And what we're gonna do is the next part of the show. Next part of the show we're gonna talk about is one of the big segments, because Raw always got big segments of the show. They never fail to disappoint with that. So we're gonna see what the next part of the show is pretty much. And let's get into that now. And that is CM Punk promo, him and Drew McIntyre. Now, CM Punk came out. He said that he was happy to be alive. He was happy to get the victory over Drew McIntyre. He said that the feud with Drew is done, that's over with, and he would like to set sights on the World Heavyweight Championship, and he wants to challenge the current champion Gunther. He said this at Bash and Burley 2 backstage with Kathy Kelly, but as he said that, we noticed someone in the hoodie was wearing a hoodie, and while CM Punk was standing on the announce table, he was knocked down by no other Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre again took the bracelet. This time he ripped the bracelet into shreds. He took the beads out, stuffed it in CM Punk's mouth, and then CM Punk was hauled off in an ambulance. And again, when he was hauled off, again, Drew McIntyre once again attacked CM Punk. And next thing you know, as CM Punk thought the story was over with Drew McIntyre, it is continuing on. So we will see another Drew versus CM Punk match, as I expected to, because they both have one win over each other. Drew won at SummerSlam. CM Punk won at Bash in Berlin. Now they're gonna have a tiebreaker, pretty much a bad blood. They're gonna set that up. So actually, I'm gonna talk more about that at some point, maybe this stream or maybe another time. But I will discuss more about that because this is far from over, as I didn't expect it to be done no time soon. So we're gonna talk more about that. Definitely gonna talk about that. But see you guys got to say so far. Ivy now is growing on you. Yeah, I never had a big problem with Ivy. Ivy's like the muscle. She was always the muscle of the Creed brothers. I told you Master the Priest better than Aussie thirst trap Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell don't really thirst trap. I barely see her. I mean, yeah, she's better. Now she is. Indy Hartwell speaks well, but her wrestling skills haven't rocked the world. Well, thing about Indy Hartwell, she's more of a tag team. She said she always been linked in the tag team with Candice LeRae. She really hasn't get off with the whole singles as a singles competitor. That's my opinion. Can someone explain to me what the leader of Pride collective promo was about? Beats me. I have no idea. There's no bigger segment than Bronson Reed, and he wasn't on Raw. Yeah. Sonya Deville, what was the promo about? Can you kindly address it? I don't really even pay attention, honestly. Sonya Deville promos are the same. Is that Pure Fuse Collective is going to take over? They always say we're coming next for the women's tag team championships. I really wasn't tuned into what Sonya was saying. She says the same thing every week. I mean, what did she say special? All she said, I know what you're going to say. I know you want to talk about. You want me to talk about what she said. There's not a man in this building who could take us home, and there's not a woman who could take us. So you want me to refer to that part. I didn't really want to go there. But since we are here, we have to do that. We had to give Sonya Deville one of these moments.
Tell me you did not just say that.
Yeah. Well, when Sonya Deville said that in the promo you're talking about here afterwards, I didn't understand that either. Like I said, she does say the same stuff, but that was different when she said that there's not a villain who could take us home. Well, we got to connect the dots. If she said not a man in the building that could take us home, well, they don't want a man to take them home, obviously. So they're not going home with any man for that matter. And she said that's not a woman that could take us, period. And I think what she meant by that is there's not a woman that could said us. So, and that's not us home. When she said not a woman that could take us, she mean that any woman that could take them wrestling wise in the ring. But yeah, other than that, they're really pushing the point I'm making is with after Selena Vega Shayna match. They're trying to push that agenda. That's what that whole state was about, Pure Future Collective. It's not a man that could take us home. They don't want to go home with a man. They want to go home with somebody else. And they say they want a woman that can take us. That woman can't take them in the ring. let's just say they're pushing the agenda, and we know Pure Fusion Collective is all about. All I gotta say is this: after me explain the best way I can with the promo, read between the lines. That's all I gotta say about that. Now let's move on to another match. It's the Dragon Lee versus Dragunov versus Dominic Mysterio in a match. This is a qualification. Whoever wins goes to be in a four-way match next week. This was a solid match by these three guys. Ilya Dragunov, I'm actually starting to like him more. It was kind of an on and off thing with Ilya. Ilya was getting on my nerves at one point. The next moment he's on, but he's doing his thing here, and he actually shined in this match. So did Dragon Lee. It really came down to Dragon Lee and Ilya Dragunov. Dominic Mysterio was chased off by Damian Priest during the match. So since he ran off like a coward that he is, it really came down to Dragon Lee and Ilya, and these boys tore it up. This was a very one of the best matches of the night, if you guys remember.
Oh, what a big knee that was. And the kick right to the throat. Big shoulder comes in from Dragunov.
So yes, so this was a good match between these two, and Ilya Dragunov got the victory. Ilya Dragunov would advance now. He will be in the four-way match next week. And whoever wins that wins the final number one contendership spot, and then we're going to face Braun Breaker. But I like how Dragunov, they're starting to build him up again. And I like that he is going to, he could be a favorite to win the whole thing. But I like how these guys are going at it though. I like the good matches. I like how Dragon Lee and Dragunov had very good chemistry with another. They I know they had a little small botch, and it was so small. They had a spot that did not go well, and they still got a sit-out power bomb from Dragon Lee to a near fall. But these guys, they're very in sync with one another. So definitely salute to Dragunov and Dragon Lee. Mostly Dominic Mysterio, you really want in the match, so you don't count for that matter. But let's get on to another part of Monday Night Raw. We had Damage Control versus Unholy Union, and Bianca and Jay was at ringside. And whoever won this match will go on to face the champions, as I stated earlier, in a tag team championship match in the future. So this match is very notable for many things. Kairi Sane had a little accident there. I'll explain that later. She had a little accident. She's okay, thank goodness. She was going off to jump, and Bianca was supposed to catch her, and Isla Dawn pulled her, and Bianca kind of pulled herself back. She caught part of Kairi, and Kairi, hit the table, but she's fine. She's okay. Other than that, it was Unholy Union who got the dub, and then as you can see, they played it off well, despite Kairi Sane with a little mishap, little falling. She still continued the match like a real soldier. Salute to Kairi Sane. I didn't know that she is a little soldier in her little self. She got it though, full of power. But anyway, I know there were points where you could tell when she fell that they were concerned. I'll get more into that, but Isla Dawn and Albert Fire, they are going to advance. But this was nothing crazy to talk about. It was just honestly that moment. But let's get more into it. Sami Zayn, he came out. As Gunther came out, he talked about how he defeated Randy Orton. He defeated one of all greats, all-time legend. Now, since CM Punk was supposed to approach Gunther as we thought so, we know what happened with him, as I just explained with Drew McIntyre. And then CM Punk was gone for the rest of the evening, being hauled off an ambulance. However, since CM Punk did come out and challenge Gunther, we got Sami Zayn came out. Sami Zayn last week was out. He had stem cell therapy for his neck, I believe, or whatever part it was. I know he had therapy. And he came out and said, Gunther, you named a lot of good men that held the Intercontinental Championship. And then he named the people that use that as a stepping stone to set them up for the world title. He mentioned names like Bret Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H The Rock, so on and so forth, in Gunther before they became world champion. And Sammy's already held the Intercontinental Championship, which he recently lost to Braun Breaker at SummerSlam. Now Sammy's saying, I want to challenge you for your world title. And he said, one thing Sammy didn't notate, the last time you held a championship was Intercontinental Championship. I was the guy that defeated you at WrestleMania early this year in your long run. So if I could beat you for the IC title, I could beat you for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Gunther was like, Sammy, you said something interesting. A lot of good men have held this belt as a stepping stone, including myself. He said one of the men that's not going to be on that list is you because you are not a world champion and you've never been a world champion and you are not a great Intercontinental champion. So that segment and it seemed like we're going to have another Sami Zayn versus Gunther, but this time for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that's the setup for that. Let's see what else happened on Monday Night Raw. We had Braun Strowman, as I stated before. He replaced Bronson Reed due to COVID. Now he will take his place at face-off in a triple threat against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. Whoever wins would join Ilya Dragunov in a four-way match next week for the number one contendership spot for the IC Championship. So Braun Strowman came in all banged up and beat up, saying, I don't know. I know it don't seem like I'm ready, but I'm ready. And that appears so he cleared. He said, doubt says up to me. I'm ready. I'm ready to go in, and he's ready to get that work. So we had that match, and that match was won by Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman won that match. And he is going to join Ilya Dragunov, and he's going to join Jey Uso, and he's also going to join, who's the fourth man? We had it was Jey. We had Jey Uso, Braun, Ilya Dragunov. Who's the other guy that advanced last week? I can't think off the top of my head, guys. You guys remember who was the other guy that advanced in for the Intercontinental Championship? I'm trying to say who's the other man that qualified. Who qualified? Who's the other man? Yes, Pete Dunne. But yeah, that's what I knew somebody else was missing. And that was last week. So salute to that. Let's see what you guys had to say. Gerard said, Angel, salute to you. Hello. You said thanks. I'm confused at what she said, but it doesn't make sense, but thanks. Yeah, I try to explain the best way possible. That's what I think. Gerard, you said, as you know, I'm extremely high in Dragunov, but I'm expecting more from him Dragon Lee. Yeah, they did the best they could. That was actually one of the better matches, and they actually improvised the spot, as I explained. It's good. Dragon Lee, yeah, he's solid. Is LaDawn about the third strap? Her wrestling is inviting. Oh yeah, I like Is LaDawn. She's appealing. She's appealing to me. Harry saying got injured. I'm glad she's okay. I'm gonna talk more about that. Julia is across between Selena Vega, her crew Sheeta, aesthetic resemblance. I guess you could say that. I was gonna say more of likes of yeah, you can say Selena. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Sami Zayn is a phenomenal promo. It will be great in Hollywood. He's very believable. Yeah. Damian Priest should do voiceovers. I don't want to see Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Boring. Yeah, I know. But yeah, Braun Strowman advances. Let's talk more about, speaking of the Intercontinental Championship, we saw the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, and he had a little confrontation. He had a little confrontation with Mr. Jey Uso. They had a backstage confrontation. Jey Uso said he was getting hyped for his tag team. He said, yeet, yeet. And then Braun Breaker came up mocking him. He said, don't even think about, he said you should eliminate yourself from this tournament. Go after mommy, go keep eating. He said, go get Dominic Mysterio sloppy seconds. I was like, dang, Braun was going in. Saying mommy sloppy seconds, but that was funny. That was funny though. Yep. Because he don't think Jay Uso can beat him, as he stated too. And he said that no one from your family, the bloodline, the No-I family ever defeated the Steiners. Braun Breaker's pretty much telling Jay Uso, who told you it was open mic?
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
So that was interesting for Braun Breaker to say. But he had a point though. And he's talking about how he's also explaining how the Islanders from Jay's family faced off against his Braun Breaker's dad and uncle, Steiner brothers. They defeated them. That's what he mean by your family never defeated mine. And he told Jay, you're not the one to do it. You are not going to be that guy. So it's really going to heat up. And his signs are telling me, that Jay Uso is going to win the tournament. Now, I'll tell you right now who's going to win this tournament. It's either Jay Uso or Ilya Dragunov, because they both got history with Braun Breaker. It could go either way. I'm just letting you guys know that. One of those two men are going to win the number one contendership spot for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, does that necessarily mean they're going to win the title? No, it does not mean that. No, not at all. But I will say that one of those guys will win the tournament. That I am saying. And I could very well see it going down that way. I could very well see it going down that way. So I would not be surprised to see what the next move is going to be. So that was a backstage segment. There was, of course, some other backstage segments, but we are going to head off to the main event in a second. So let's talk about that. We'll talk about the main event, then talk about the Raw review rating. And then, of course, we'll go over what went wrong with Raw, 3 or more, whatever, several things I saw that did not like in this recent episode of Raw. So let's go over that. Let's see what you guys have to say before we get to the main event. Let's see. Braun Strowman coming in sort of killed kayfabe as he was out of Flash. Yeah, I agree. Braun Breaker's the adult. Jay Uso coming up as an immature grown man. Well, Braun Breaker's the serious dominant heel. Jay Uso's the goofy baby face. What's crazy is Jay Uso's 39 and Braun Breaker's only 26, 27. That's deep between Jay and Braun. Yep, seriously, that's the history. Please don't let Jay immature Yeet win. Ilya Dragunov should win, but that's too be good to be true. The history between Braun family and Jay Uso family is already lit. Yeah, and that's why Jay may be the favorite to win, just because of that right there. That may be the reason. That may be just the catalyst, the factor in that. So, but with that being said, we got a main event we got to go to. In the main event, as I stated earlier, it was, of course, Jay, and speaking of which, Jay and Damian teaming up against JD and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. And it was Jay and Damian standing tall. So it was a solid between these two. They teamed up, had not a bad one, not a bad one at all. I like how Jay Uso and Priest worked well off each other. Jay Uso got the win off a splash. He did some spears in between. We know that they try to interfere. You know how Judgment Day do. Liv Morgan interfered. She tried to interfere. She got Jay off the top rope. We know that happened, and we know Rhea Ripley came out. You know, remember Rhea Ripley came out. She had the crutches. It seemed like she couldn't walk, but she could, and she gave Liv Morgan that work with the crutches. Gave her that work. Literally gave her that work.
You about to get that work, son.
So yeah, we had that. A lot of good interaction. Like I said, Jay did his thing like he always do. And this was a good moment because, as you can see, the Terror Twins and already Jay Uso, they are really, really over. And as you see, whoever would have thought we see Jay and the Terror Twins all standing tall with their arms raised. You got Damian and Jay on the same side. And that's funny because Damian tried to recruit. Remember, Damian tried to recruit Jay into the Judgment Day last year when Jay first came to Monday Night Raw. So now they tag team together for the first time ever in the main event of Raw, standing tall. And you had also Rhea Ripley doing a yeet, saying yeet. Remember she said it? Damien had asked her when the match started, what was Jay answer to team up with Damien? And Rhea said, Jay didn't say yes, and Damien was like, had to look like, what? And he said this to team up.
Yeet.
So it said yeet. So I had a good team up. I had a good tag match. So Damian Priest, he dominant well. He does his thing like like no other. But it was Jey Uso that shine. He gonna shine. And literally, like I said, Rhea Chase live out the whole arena. But that is the main event of Monday Night Raw. All right, Mr. Goodbread reaction. Appreciate that. But yes, guys, this was the end of Monday Night Raw. And of course, this was the Jey Uso and Damian Priest versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. And also remember, guys, before we get to what went wrong with Raw, do me a favor, double tap that screen. Go ahead, double tap that screen. Make sure you double tap screen as you come into the ring. What does yeet mean? I don't know what yeet means. I actually don't know what that means. I think it's just a catchy saying. It's a catchy saying of that. But other than that, though, guys, let's go over the Raw review. CBR6 salute. Yes, I heard about that. People were speculating that they said during Raw that it was an era that they was working on the back. They was working on the backstage. I'm sorry, they was working on the maintenance on the website and all that stuff. But I said that Ozzy Jones was just used for the New Day thing, and he got him out of there. Does anybody miss Ozzy Jones? Because I don't. Rhea Ripley doesn't look good without her makeup. Yeah. I know a lot of people in the IWC not real big on Rhea Ripley. Some are, if you into the whole goth tattoo all over her body thing. But other than that, though, guys, double tap the screen, and we're going to head off, and we're going to talk about the Raw rating. Now, after this Raw, we had everything that happened. I explained everything to match the key components, and I came to a realization conclusion. What will I rate this week's Monday Night Raw? What will I rate it? And I'll give it a good solid 4 out of 5. Raw was solid. Some matches I didn't care for, but WWE's not about just matches, it's about story. Definitely was good. The whole Pure Fuse Collective promo, didn't care for that. I didn't care for that match. The whole six person tag, that was okay. It was average. I didn't really care for the Damage Control versus Unholy Union. Didn't care for that match either. Wasn't the best. It was just, like I said, known for the Kairi Sane accident. But that's what I get. You guys let me know right now. What did you think of Monday Night Raw? And guess what? These are what people are saying about Monday Night Raw. This is what they're saying about Monday Night Raw. I did a poll earlier. What would you grade Raw? We had 71% coming in at an A, 25% coming at a B, C. We had 4% ranking it a C grade. And then a D or F, we had 1%. And this is out of 102 votes. So go to Red Carpet Rain on YouTube and vote on what you thought the grade of Monday Night Raw should have been. Grades from A to F. I would love to hear what you guys got to say. And of course, you could comment in that section as well on the community tab. Check that out. Let's see. CBR6, if they what'd you say? If they release Odyssey, what's that for New Day, Karrion Kross? Hopefully to break New Day up. And I don't did that because Big E not here. TBK, aren't you into Rhea Ripley? I mean, she got a nice body and all. I don't like all that. I don't like all the tattoos all over her body. That's not my thing. I don't like women with all them tattoos all over body. I mean, if you got some here and there, that's okay as long as it's not visible. I'm not with all them crazy tattoos. Yeah, it's good she has a natural look, but I don't like all those tattoos. Because if you remember, Rhea Ripley first got into WWE, she didn't have all those tattoos like she do now. And her hair, she had real long hair. She definitely gone through too many transformations as a character. If Ivy now can develop a personality, she will be over the crowd. Yeah, B. You give it a B, CBR6. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you guys can check it out in the community tab. Bronson Reed on Raw. Jade Cargill cringed on Bronson Reed. Well, Jade Cargill, she didn't wrestle. She was just there, to see who the next opponent's going to be. Her and Bianca. They didn't have no match or nothing. They just showed an appearance, and they were sitting alongside the announce team while the match was going on between Damage Control and Unholy Union. But let's get on to what went wrong with Raw. Now, for those who don't know, I'll go over what went wrong with Raw. What were the issues with Raw, by the way? What happened? What stuff I like or did not like with this particular show? So we're going to get into it right now. And the first thing we're going to go over, Selena Vega. I'm confused here. Is she a single star or is she still with the LWO? Which one is it? Because one week we'll see her in a singles competition like this week. She'll be a solo act. The next couple weeks later, I see her with the LWO while she's riding with them stable. And Selena Vega, I know she's transitioning for the past year into becoming a wrestler, not so much a valet as she was when she first came into WWE. But which one is she? I don't get that. I don't get what the whole issue is. I don't get that. I'm not sure how that is going to work. If she's going to be a single star, let her be singles and let her break away from LWO. If she's going to be with LWO, she can't do both. I don't think she has enough star power to just do both. That's my opinion on that whole thing. I'm just not big on that. That's my opinion on that. I'm not buying into that. I'm just not though, So I'm kind of confused on that. So with that being said, guys, I gotta give this. It's only one word it's only one list to put this on. Since I was not a fan of this, I don't know what's going on with Selena. Until further notice, it definitely goes on one list and one list only.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, Selena, I don't know where are they going with her. I think she's a singles competitor. And then she was even, remember last year she competed at Backlash for the women's, championship against Rhea last year. And then I seen the stable with LWO. Like, what are you doing? Then they got drafted to Raw. What's going on here? So I'm just confused on that part. I'm confused. Maybe it's just me. I'm confused about Selena as well. She's trying to establish her presence as a wrestler in WWE. She might as well join Scott D'Amore's new promotion. Oh, yeah, you talking about what Morrow, the announcer, has joined. Maple Leaf Wrestling. That's what Gerard's talking about, guys. Maple Leaf Wrestling. And that's what Scott D'Amore has started. CBR6 said, how do you feel about Unholy Union getting another shot? Do you think Damage Control should get another shot? I didn't disagree with that move. Damage Control is pretty much done, and Damage Control, and since Unholy Union were the last team to hold on to the tag team championships, the women's tag team championships before Bianca and Jade, I think it's a fair move. As long as they end up with Bianca and Jade retaining, I don't want them playing hot potato with the women's tag team championship. So let Jade and Bianca have a real run with it, and that's it. And I said it before, Unholy Union is a very solid tag team. They're not trash at all. They're low-key pushing Unholy Union, but they're not over the crowd. Well, they're heels. They're not supposed to be over. They're bad guys or bad women. They're not supposed to be over. They're not baby faces. So I don't expect to be over like that. They're not a baby face team. Bianca and Jade are the baby faces, not them. TBK, you're a real historian, researcher. Wow, you know Maple Leaf Wrestling? Well, I don't know much about it. I saw the interview what Scott D'Amore did with Chris Van Fleet last week. And when he mentioned why he was let go of TNA Wrestling as they was transitioning to Anthem that now runs TNA, he was mentioning that he started Maple Leaf Wrestling and Morrow, the old announcer for WWE was there, and he mentioned that's what he's doing now. Because Chris interviewed and said, "What are you doing now since you left? Since you got released from TNA?" And I heard about that. I said, "Okay, Maple Leaf Wrestling. Don't know much about it." And then I heard they're trying to recruit old WWE, TNA, and AEW stars. So I don't know much about it. I just saw an interview. That's how I know about Maple Leaf Wrestling. I never heard of it until I saw that interview last week. So I did a short on that interview last week. Check the channel. But yeah, Selena Vega, I don't know what they're gonna do with her. Maybe in due time, WWE will do the proper story and explain what's gonna be the next move for Selena Vega's career. Are you in a stable or are you on your own? Figure it out, WWE. Seriously. Next thing I saw that happened with that I did not like, and this was explained earlier. Kairi Zane's fall. And this is her after the fall. She's fine. She's healed. She's not out of action. She's not retiring or nothing. She's going to take a extensive amount of time off. She's good. She had that nasty fall, as I stated when Bianca. Now, I can't play that here. We on YouTube. It's a real sensitive thing. Of course, it'll be nasty. I don't want to really play that because I saw in slow motion. But we know that she missed as she was trying to go for Bianca. Ilya Dawn messed up. She tried to pull Bianca away from it, and Bianca should have went into it so she could catch her. I will say this: had not Bianca caught as much as she could of Kairi, this fall would have ended up a lot worse than it did. Thank God it didn't, and I'm glad Kairi's safe and well. But with that being said, besides the fall and damage control now, this stable is done. This stable started, 2 years ago with Bayley. Bayley got them over. They were tag team champions. Then you had the addition of Kairi Sane when she returned to WWE. Asuka joining Damage Control. Then we had Bayley winning Royal Rumble. They turned on her. Bayley defeated Io for the championship. Let's be honest, Io was not a great WWE Women's Champ. She was booked poorly. Great competitor, booked poorly. And then next thing you know, we had Dakota Kai finally come back from a 9-month injury. Not only that, she really wasn't back for long. She's out again with an injury, and Asuka's out. Now we're down to 2 people in Damage Control, and it was 4 of them. By the time they took Bayley was kicked out of the stable, and I think they need to end it. There's no more story to Damage Control. They did everything they had to do. Bayley won the Royal Rumble, got the championship for Io. Io won the Money in the Bank and won the championship before Bayley won it from her. Asuka and Kairi was added on. They won tag team gold several times. Kairi and Asuka, and of course Dakota and Io. What more can you do to stable at this point? All they can do, and I think they're just here to put over Pure Fusion Collective. They're not really to do anything else as a stable tag team. They're not really doing anything else for that matter. So I would like for them, since Asuka got hurt and now Dakota, you don't have no members in no more. Damage Control started with 3 women, now it's 2. You went from 3 to 5 to 4, now 2. Just pull the plug. At this point, Damage Control is on life support, and they need to pull the plug on this right now because it's definitely on the list as far as that.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So they need to end the stable. I'm tired of it. There's nothing more you can do with them. They did everything they could as a stable. They was on Raw and SmackDown. Come on, let's end it here. Why keep playing with us, guys? You said, over crowd is some promo skills that they're in honorable depth tone with crowd. Yeah, they're foreigners. I think they're from, I forgot what country they're from, but they're not American women. But they are a great tag team. This all helps kind of a lot. I started watching back before Backlash 2024. Oh, so you're new to wrestling then. So you pretty much been watching WrestleMania then? You said before Backlash, so I'm assuming WrestleMania is when you start watching, or right after WrestleMania. That's good. That's what's up though. Gerard says Selena Vega cosplay dyeing her hair has made her lose her appeal. She's no longer sexy, she's just one of the girls. I like Selena Vega. I like her a lot. But there's a point to what you're saying. You got a point. You have not told a lie on this one.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
That's true. I don't look Selena like that no more. She wears colored hair too much and then dyeing it. I like the old Selena, and then she wrestled. I like Selena when she was a valet. You know, she came out. She was perfect as a valet. I'm not saying she shouldn't wrestle at all, but I prefer the valet and not coloring her hair so much. I don't like this cosplay stuff so much. So I agree, Gerard. I don't look her the same way. And I think that's why I went and moved on to Liv Morgan and more of Katana Chance, women like that, and your girl, Lyra Valkyria. But yeah, I think that's why I like women like that now, of the short, small women. They should initiate damage control for damage control. That's not a bad idea. I agree at the end. I agree. And damage control on both the Jeans and Scott. Yeah, Io could be by herself. Kyrie could be by. Well, I don't know if Kyrie should be by herself. She almost had an eye. She had blood all over her eye. So I don't know about that. But they need to do something with her. I'm more interested in the Jeans of Sky. Do you think WWE will end? And if they do win? Concerning the fact they just got purchased by TKO, the same group that owns UFC, I would say no, they're not going to end. If anything, with that move, since you're new to wrestle CBR6, there was a WWE just got purchased. Actually, September of last year by TKO. They bought them out. Like I said, they own UFC and WWE. It actually made them stronger, so I do not see it ending no time soon. Yeah, they definitely life support. After Mania. Okay, that's what I figure. After Mania, Scotland, Holy Union are from Scotland. Yeah, they are from Scotland. I knew they were from somewhere. I knew they weren't Aussies. I knew they weren't Australian. I knew it was Australian. I knew they was not from America. But that's the second thing I saw. In the third, and I think one more thing I'm going to notice, and you kind of brought this out too, Gerard. Braun Strowman. Him replacing Bronson Reed despite being taken out last week. I get it that Bronson Reed had the COVID. I get it. He had to be replaced. But why about a man that took him out that could barely move, that got smashed on a car? They couldn't find anybody else on the whole Raw roster? Seriously? This is not a good decision. And it automatically goes on the list.
What's going to happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, so no. Braun Strowman was not the proper choice to replace Bronson Reed. I don't agree with that move at all. I thought somebody should have replaced him. Not cool with that at all. Nope. You said the night of Bash in Berlin. I was scrolling and YouTube Shorts live. And saw this channel. Appreciate that, CBR6. Keep putting the work in. I will definitely do that every time I get on here. Holly Cameron's improving AEW. I've heard Anna Jay's improving too. Anna Jay's actually in Japan or something. She's doing some overseas work. Yes, I'm glad you agree Braun Strowman was the wrong choice. Yeah, it don't make sense. If this man, Bronson Reed, supposed to be booked as a monster, he takes out Braun Strowman, one of the biggest men in WWE, and he smashed him over a car following a tsunami. How does he come back like that, bruised up? It doesn't make Bronson Reed believable. He is not seen as a monster anymore. I'm sorry, he just doesn't, for whatever reason. So I just didn't buy into that whole thing. I'm like, what is going on here? What are they doing? But yeah, guys, that's 3 things I saw with Raw. Other than that, though, this was, like I said, good, a solid Raw, nothing bad about it. Remember, they are, and oh yeah, there was no, we had that new announcer, Joe Tessitore. He was announced at the beginning of Monday Night Raw. He's replacing Michael Cole. It will be Joe Tessitore, if I said his name right, and Wade Barrett on Monday nights. I know, what's his name? Pat McAfee will come in after football season over, college football, or football, whatever football he's doing. I don't follow football. And then you have Wade Barrett and Michael Cole got moved to SmackDown. So he had a very good voice for his first night on Raw. He really did his thing. He's a good announcer. He's known for being in the NFL. I don't know how you guys felt about him. I thought he did a great job. He really studied the wrestlers and he really was in tune with the move set and all the characters of and everything of such. So that was solid. And I can't wait to see what the next move's going to be for Mr. Tessitore. But I think he's solid though. He's a solid announcer. And WWE, I see that they're bringing in announcers or backstage interviewers from other sports. Jackie Redmond, if you guys don't know, came from NHL, National Hockey League. Then we got Joe Tessitore from NFL. They're really trying to get in tune with the audience from other sports, and they're trying to bring them into WWE as fans because they know if they heard their voice before somewhere else, they'll hear their voice at WWE, and then they'll win them over, and then it's a wrap after that. They glued in, and that's the they got themselves a brand new viewership, a viewer, and then the viewership just increases. So that's what I said. But I like what he was doing. I like his voice for some reason, and I think I do recognize his voice being in the NFL. But we still like Michael Cole though. But he's solid though. I liked his voice. I liked him. New commentator was okay. I won't say it was awesome. He wasn't bad. Remember, if you remember, Gerard, let's go back to 2008. Mike Adamel, whatever his name is, Mike Adele. Remember, they brought him in from NBC Sports. He wasn't doing the best job. Now, I didn't notice at the time. I know Mike Adamel had dementia. He got sick. But even though he didn't have a charisma that he didn't have a charisma, he don't have the knowledge like Joe does. I think Joe is still doing a little bit more. So I would say from a guy from NFL, he's solid. Kathy Kelly, when did she return from holiday? Is she single? Kathy Kelly, Kathy Kelly came back to WWE 2 years ago, and as far as I'm concerned, yes, she's single. She's the independent woman that's got her own money, very strong and independent. So, you guys, red pill, know what that means. When did you start doing these videos? CBR6, I've been starting doing YouTube since January of last year, January 2023. So about a year and a half. Jackie Redmond, oh, she's lovely. Yeah, she came from NHL, so they just doing a good crossover. But with that being said, guys, let's get to the bonus round. We're going to start that in a second. And that's all for Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre gets revenge after loss to CM Punk. This is the end of round one. We are going to go into that's the end of round one. Phase one of the live is over. We are going to enter bonus round now. Let's get to the second phase of the show. Let's get to the bonus round here. And give me a second and I'll get that ready. And we will say goodbye to Facebook and we will stay on X and YouTube. All right. We had the bonus round, guys. We had the bonus round. Let's talk about it. Announcer backstage NXT's better than Colin Jordan. Okay, you want to stop getting up on Kalani Jordan, Gerard. You want to calm that down a little bit. CY6, do you think since Braun won Bronson Reed will interfere in the IC tournament match if he has a stake? Do you think he will? Yeah, Bronson definitely going to interfere. And I don't think Braun's going to win the tournament. But yeah, let's get into the bonus round, guys. We are here, and we are talking about Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, and we're gonna talk about how would this be booked if it came down, because we know these two got some unsettled business, guys. We know they got it. We know it's gonna come to a point, and as Rhea Ripley stated in her promo, that these two are gonna have at it again. They're gonna hash it out, and it's gonna be crazy because these two have so much history, and we're gonna see what the next move is going to be as far as Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. And this is going to be at Bad Blood. And this will be for the Women's World Championship. And the question is, how would you book Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley Bad Blood? Because we know it's for the Women's World title. We know that that's what's coming down to, guys. So, since it's coming down to that, this is not an official match, but we know it's going to get announced as a match. We know that's where it's going. We know that's where it's going. We know there's a lot of work that needs to be done regarding Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Let's be honest, guys. We know that it was coming to. We know they was going to, at some point, have this encounter once again. We know that's what it was going to come down to. Now, at Bad Blood, they already had a match. We get that. Now, we trying to figure out how would this end between these two. How would it end between Rhea and Liv? Because it comes down to one thing and one thing only. And like I said, it is about the Women's World Championship. That's what it comes down to between these two. It's not about no Dominic Mysterio. This is not even about Judgment Day. This comes down to the Women's World Championship. That's all it comes down to. And since it is coming to that, we got to see what the next move is going to be. Liv Morgan has been champion now for what? She just approached her 100-day milestone. So since she just approached her 100-day milestone, we know that Liv Morgan is still on the run as champion. We know she's going to do whatever she can to keep that title. You know, she is actually on a great run. Believe it or not, she's on a great run as champion. And she's really come to her own this character. So I like how they're doing that angle. But like I said, we know that Bash in Berlin, it's gonna set up Rhea and Liv Part 2. Let's be honest. We know that this is where this was going. And we know that because, let's be honest here, this match, and I said before, this match was all about Rhea and Liv. Look who won the pinfall for the team. Rhea Ripley won the pinfall. She called the pretzel pin, and she got that by pinning Liv Morgan. Remember, she pinned the champion Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion, and she was the one pinned. This was not about Damien. See Damien standing over in the corner. Dominic went there, standing around. It came down to this moment right here, which is about Liv and Rhea. Rhea has never lost the Women's World title, and this is going to set up their match. Now we know, like I said before, before we get to that, we gotta go over the history. Now the history shows it had a pride match at SummerSlam. We saw how that match went. This is when we saw the betrayal from Dominic Mysterio turning on Rhea. He linked up with Liv. Liv retained the Women's World title, and Dom cost Rhea the chance to regain the Women's World title. We know that's what it was going down. Other than that, though, that's the history there. They already had one match already for the Women's World Championship. Liv retained with the help of Dominic Mysterio. Will that be the case here this time around? And also, not only that's the history here, these two have teamed up before. Look at that. Remember, a couple years ago, these two were on the same show, Monday Night Raw. They teamed up together. They were a tag team. This were the short hair Rhea, pre-Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, pre-Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. And remember, Rhea actually turned on Liv after they kept losing. Remember, they kept losing for a while, and Rhea turned on Liv. Then also too, Rhea took out Liv. Remember, Liv Morgan was out with an injury. Storyline, it was Rhea that took her out. I think Liv Morgan was out for some months, and then she comes back. Then Rhea is still champion. She's the champ, and then she's taken out by Liv. And then Rhea has to vacate the Women's World Championship, leave Judgment Day behind, and then Liv comes in, takes her spot as the female member of Judgment Day. She gets with Dominic Mysterio in this whole history here, and it all leads up to this point here. Then they already had the match at SummerSlam. They already had the match at Bash in Berlin. Tag match, not one-on-one. Rhea, Terror Twins with Damian, Liv with Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio, and now we are here for the Bad Blood, and it's going to be for the title. That's what it's coming down to. And now this match can go down in two different ways. It really can, but there's only one. We have to see how it's going to go down the proper way. Now, think about Rhea and Liv. This is not just going to be a quick match. These two are going to go out. They're going to be battling out for a while. At least that's how I would see it. I don't know in what capacity, as far as how long the match will be, but I do know that they're going to have a match at Bad Blood. I do know that it's going to get real nasty with those two, and it could get real creative because Liv Morgan has been doing well in cage matches, or it ain't got to be a cage match. It could be very well a Hell in a Cell match. It could be Liv versus Rhea in a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. That could be the whole thing here. It could come down to that as well. Let's not forget about that part. Because I can see it very well going, that being the case between these two. I'm just saying. But the thing about it is, with those two, they have to continue the story for SummerSlam. Rhea did not really, she lost, but it was due to interference. Now, Bad Blood here, it's either you could have a steel cage or you could have a Hell in a Cell. Whatever way purpose, the expected match between Rhea and Liv, it's going to be a steel cage or Hell in a Cell match. That's one way I see it. Now, it could go, like I said, since they have that match, Rhea could lose Bad Blood. She could lose. And it could be for the women's title. And let's say she comes back. She still has time. She still has time to try to regain the belt back maybe at some given point. Let's say that if she loses Bad Blood, she thinks there's no time left to get the women's world title. I think Liv will still be champion. Let's say next year she wins Elimination Chamber and she gets the right to compete against Liv Morgan at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. And then at that point, when we have that, it will be that match. And then at that given point, Rhea will regain the women's title. That's one scenario. Or if it don't go down that way, we can have Rhea. She can actually win at the Bad Blood. She can win, and then she can regain the title there because Liv Morgan has been champ for 100 days. It could go either way. Well, how would you guys book that? Does Rhea lose or does she win at Bad Blood? Does she regain the title now or should she wait till later? Because Liv has held on to the belt now for a little over 3 months, you know. Or if she were to win, if Rhea Ripley won Bad Blood, let's say if on the flip side, maybe Liv Morgan regained the title on an episode of Raw, or maybe a crown jewel, because she could get the title again. Let's say Liv did lose, maybe that's the case. But I think Steel Cage and Hell in a Cell would be a great scenario between these two. I think that'd be a great idea. So I'm not sure. That's the only thing I'm trying to see. How would that go? How would that whole thing go between them? And now, what do you guys think of that? Liv Morgan title reign thus far isn't interesting as she's not defending the title, at least Mercedes Monet defending the title against all comers. Yeah, we know Liv is getting better. She's not the best in-ring performer. She's getting better. She's also feud with Rhea. When Rhea's injured, it was her down story. Yeah, she don't defend the belt as much. Don't worry, I already let the credit team on it. The position Rhea did to Liv Morgan is Kama Sutra-esque. Yeah, that's exactly how it looked. We told the pretzel pin, she called it. How long do you see this feud going on for? That's a good question. How long do I see the feud going on for? I was saying until no longer than WrestleMania next year, which is distracting folks from wrestling opponents or be a fighting champ. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this could go back and forth. Either Rhea or Liv wins at Hell in a Cell, or Steel Cage at Bad Blood, and Rhea regains the title. She could lose it maybe a month later, a month and a half later, in a screw job, no DQ or something. And let's say Rhea tries to regain it again at WrestleMania. She wouldn't hold on against WrestleMania. So that's the only thing. Is there just a normal match, or it's going to be Extreme Rules, no holds barred? What kind of match you think it'll be? It's not going to be a normal match. They already had a normal match at SummerSlam. It will be a Steel Cage or Hell in a Cell, I believe, or maybe no holds barred. I don't know so much about Extreme Rules, or just let Rhea win a title in the story. Yeah, that's why I said she could win at Bad Blood too. It's Mia Yim giving a dangling carrot, but she's featured a lot. Nia Jax. Yeah, I think that's give us TV screen time. Rhea versus Liv, no DQ, just like Mia Yim versus SmackDown recently. That could be another scenario. We can have that too. That's actually not a bad idea. We can have no DQ, or since this rivalry is getting so deep, as you stated as well, or we could do no holds barred. Let's not forget about that either. It could go either way. It don't have to be. I think it'd be better if you do a Steel Cage or a Hell in a Cell, but it also could be a no DQ or no holds barred match. I'm just saying that would be a great idea to book as well. And whoever wins, just keep the story going, because this is a long story. Like I said, there was a lot of history between Liv and Rhea. These two were a tag team a couple years ago, and they were both baby faces. So them face off each other will be amazing, guys. It will be amazing to see how the booking will go on with these two, period. And I think that'll be a great situation. I think it'd be very great for them how to book that and how it will go down necessarily. But other than that, you guys let me know in the comment section and the comment section and live chat what you think of how to book Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship at Bad Blood. How would you guys book that? What would be the best way to book it possible? And when does this feud really end? This is why P done feuding with Trick, Tap Dancing with Sheamus. Yeah, that's another story for another day. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think of this whole story between Liv and Rhea. Bad Blood's coming October 5th. It could be a number range of match stipulations, Hell in a Cell, steel cage, no DQ, no holds barred, whatever the case may be. But I would like to let you guys let me know what you think of that. Soon to be able to pop up for a Red Carpet Ring. Again, thank you for checking out How to Book Rhea versus Liv at Bad Blood. Thank you guys for coming out. You guys already know what it is at this point. You guys already know it is OUT.
Something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.